I'd be like Spider-Man in a fight because I'm always on the lookout for danger. Hello everybody, I am back. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah Kate Sly. I'm a teenager with cerebral palsy and I make videos about all sorts of things related to my disability and me. Before we start, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and send me a comment. I wanted to rant a little bit about having to navigate public places and why there are sometimes I really hate traveling and going out. As I like to say, I'm a salmon constantly swimming upstream. And I wanted to share some of the things I deal with on a regular basis and why they're such an issue in my life. One such situation is when I travel by plane. Airports always tend to be problems for me. I don't fly often, but when I do, because of swimming, it's always something I dread. There's issues with the wheelchair, with finding proper seats, going through security, navigation in general, because there's so many people, a lot of them are not patient, and the wheelchair is not nimble at all. And they usually don't handle the wheelchair or my equipment with the best care. Last time I was on a trip, my Linker, my little yellow device that I can walk with, had parts of it scratched up and was just banged up in general. It's always an affair to worry about getting our things all over the place while carting the wheelchair and all of our bags. Having the wheelchair is especially hard when we go to get our bags because my mom has to carry basically everything because my hands are busy pushing the wheelchair. At airports, everyone is so concerned with making their flight on time and finding their gate. People are not usually paying attention to what's going on around them or any wheelchair users whose way they might be in. I've told this story before in one of my other videos, but I'm telling it again. One time, when my mom and I were in an airport getting ready for our flight, we were heading towards our gate and there was this fairly steep but short ramp toward a group of gates, and I was going down it in my chair and there were these two girls on my right and didn't bother me at all, and in the middle of going down the ramp as I'm gaining speed, I'm just letting my chair roll without holding on to them because it's just a ramp and I don't need to work right now. And suddenly those girls realize they need to go over here and they cut right in front of me and so close that I have to grab the wheels of my chair and come to a complete stop in the middle of the ramp in order to not hit these ladies. And they just kept on walking like nothing happened, and I don't think they even noticed that I almost hit them. But it was kind of terrifying because I thought I was going to hit them and they were going to get hurt. And Disney World is even worse with this kind of thing. People are distracted and concerned with where they're going. And Disney World is already incredibly difficult to navigate, with people trying to find places, herding their kids, looking for food, checking their schedules, and the pictures. People randomly stop to take pictures in the middle of the street or the path or whatever, and I've got to swerve to get out of the way. Please don't just stop in the middle of where people are walking without first checking that you aren't in someone's way. If you've ever been to Disney World, you know that everyone is so packed in all the time that it's hard to move around even if you don't have extra problems. Throw in a wheelchair and you've got human bumper cars and you're giving half the park broken ankles. Having people randomly stop when you're just moving along doesn't make that any easier. And the world is just not very disability friendly. Before the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed, buildings didn't have the codes that they have now that made them disability friendly. But since it's been passed, there's certain criteria that they need to meet in order to be able to be open and function, which I'm so thankful for. But some buildings that existed before the ADA, it probably does more harm than good because the elevators and ramps are added onto them because the original buildings didn't plan to have that in there, and so they're just added on really far away and in really inconvenient places. There are also people who illegally park in handicapped spaces which really gets on my nerves. If I'm in a parking lot and the only handicapped space is a van accessible one, I will park really far away because I don't need that space most of the time, and I want to save that space for someone who needs it more than I do. But a lot of typical people don't extend that courtesy and just take those spaces for one reason or another. And what's the deal with using my chair like a piece of furniture? I've only had this happen a couple times, but I've definitely had people push me out of their way because I was in my wheelchair looking at something. You wouldn't pick a random stranger up and physically move them out of your way if they were a typical person, so why would you do it to someone in a wheelchair? So if you've been wondering what's happening behind the scenes, my dog Stella came with me to film today, but I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Before you go, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed, liked, sent me a comment, and joined my Patreon. If you don't know, Patreon allows certain individuals to donate a few dollars a month so that everyone else can enjoy my videos for free. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting my channel.